But the purpose of this meeting is really to explain what we do from A to Z with our recruiting system. We say we're not just a recruiting service like some other platforms. We're going to make sure skill development's there. We're going to make sure that exposure features are there. We're going to make sure that college connections are there and evaluations are there. So we're from A to Z, just making sure people are seen in the right light and have a chance to be evaluated by every college in the country. That's our goal by the end of senior year. Every college had a chance to evaluate every player in our system. And then hopefully those offers come in and you don't have to pay any money. That's the goal. You get to the next level, they get their degree, they play the game that they love, and then you don't have to pay anything. And for us, the win is someone made it to the next level and continued on. So we want success stories, a win-win for everybody. So let me get started. All right. So if you don't know me, my name is Shannon Riley. I am owner, founder of Dream Sports Group. The reason why I started this company and I started this service and these games and camps is because of what I went through in recruiting. All right. If you can see my screen, you see that state of Delaware is on the map. And if you know anything about Delaware, it's small. 3 counties. There's only 3 counties and they're all small towns. And Delaware is not known to have elite athletes. If you look at the NFL, you can probably count as many players on one hand that are in the NFL from Delaware. And then if you look at D1 rosters, there's not a lot of players out there. So even though I was 6'2", 180 pounds, I had great grades. I could run, catch. I was strong, athletic. I was put to the back burner because when they looked at my film, they said, we don't know if it's you being an excellent player or if the players around you are horrible because you're going against Delaware players. And that was one of the biggest obstacles was just my zip code. Before I even started, just where I grew up was an obstacle, being in a small state. And then my coach, he tried his hardest, but he didn't insist as much as he could. He was a father, husband, he was a teacher. So he had limited time to be able to help me out and send all my recommendations that I needed to my 50 schools that I wanted. And then player B sent it to his 50 schools he wanted. And we had about 30 seniors, about 25 juniors, 25 sophomores, maybe 15 freshmen. Everybody had a goal to get to college. So that's a lot of recommendations. That's a lot of outreach that coach couldn't do. All right. And then we weren't a major power. We weren't like an IMG Academy or, one of these main programs across the country. We were just a regular public school that went about 7-3, 6-4 every year. So college coaches weren't just running into our building to find talent. So that was, an obstacle as well. No tradition. And then I was told if I was good, they would find me. So I kind of just did my thing. I figured that if I had the grades and I had good film, I could just sit back and then college coaches would be knocking on my door. And that just definitely didn't happen. Now, it started to change once I had a game plan. I sat down with an advocate who'd been through the process and that was well connected with college coaches, and he mapped it out. He's like, this is what you need to do. And I followed the game plan all the way. And then I saw it started to build. I wasn't doing a lot of things that I needed to do. And even if I was doing a lot of things I needed to do, sometimes you need that advocate that can really call a coach and say, hey, coach, there's a player I need you to see. And because they believe in that advocate so much, they pick up the phone and say, okay, give me the video. Let me check it out. That's what we do now. We do that for players across the country. People that get into our Exposure Accelerator, we have a game plan, we do recommendations, and we do a lot of other things to help athletes in their journey just to make sure they're well connected and have a chance to be evaluated. All right. So I just want to give you that background of me and what I was going through in my journey. All right. So this is the game plan. All right. I want you guys to see the full scope of what we do and how we help somebody out. So the first thing that I would do with the family is I'll get on a Zoom or a phone call, and then we'll find out all the facts. All right. All the facts is what are you doing in your journey? What have you done up until the time that we're talking? I need to find everything. I need to know, how does your coach see you? How does he rate you? Does he see you as a Division 1, Division 2, Division 3 type player? What about your trainer? Where do you see yourself? How many schools do you reach out to per month? What methods are you doing it? So the detailed fact find is very important. That's the first thing that we do. We sit down and have a long conversation to figure out what's going on, what is missing, so we can correct those things and then come up with our strategy. So the strategy session is the second thing that you see in this journey. All right, we're really going to sit down and say, okay, based on evaluations that we see, this is where we should start. We should start with this level, start building some interest. And then we're going to write some articles to get the algorithm going so people know who you are. We're going to do social media features and we're going to do all these. So we get the strategy session done second. The third thing we do is we create the whole plan. All right, so we got to make sure we have the plan. We do it yearly. We identify the schools that we're going to contact. We have the templates that you have that you're going to be able to send out. We have the timing of everything. We have our follow-up meetings. Everything is written out. So we know what you're going to do. You know what we're going to do. And we're all on the same page. So that's the discovery phase. That first line that you see at the bottom to make sure that everything is set. We know everything about your journey. We know your obstacles. We have the strategy session and we develop the plan. All right. When we get up to the marketing piece, that's when we start doing some program research. All right. We have to make sure that we're targeting the right programs based on your abilities. All right. And that's huge. All right. Program research, you got to make sure that you have that plan and then you're targeting the right schools as you build out. All right. If you're an eighth grader, ninth grader, you're just starting out, we can't just call Kirby Smart right away and talk to Kirby and say, hey, recruit this kid. And they don't even have film yet or some other things. So we have to go through the right program research, get the schools that we're going to target for the first year. All right. And then we start doing our plan of action. We give action steps for the families and then we do certain things. But that program research is big. So we know every month what schools we're targeting and we try to target 10 to 15 schools. So by the end of the year, we're up to 120 or more schools that have received personal recommendations and information about you. And that really just starts the process to build that exposure and those connections. Skill development is huge. All right. With our program, all right, like I said, it's not just a recruiting service. All right, skill development is our camp series and our combine series. So you have unlimited camps until graduation. All right, you can go to any one, Southeast, Mid-Atlantic, Northeast, you can go Midwest, South, Southwest, Pacific Northwest, wherever we have one, you can go to. We have different college coaches that go to different events. So you have a chance to be coached up and evaluated by certain coaches in Florida, and then you go to the one in Birmingham, Alabama, different coaches there. Then you go to Atlanta, Georgia, and then you go to North Carolina, Texas, different coaches. But we keep everything the same just so we can test you. We can evaluate you through skill development and training. And then we have competitions. That's how everything goes with our camp series. So that's part of the skill development. You would get that with our program. There's no other recruiting service that has unlimited camps and skill development as part of it. That's how we stand out above everybody else. As we mentioned, the action steps, we're going to give you what to do. All right. I talk to a lot of families and I say, what do you do each month to make sure your son's being recruited? Or I ask a player, what are you doing? And they say, well, um, I follow a coach and I might send a message out to them once here and there. That's not going to get it done. All right. Our action steps are heavy. You'll see a lot of check marks that need to be done each month. We will lay it out for you. And, we tell the parent, you have to oversee the child if they're going to be doing it. Or, if the parent's going to really take, a heavy load on it and do a lot, then you're going to have to make sure these boxes are checked off. But that's going to be big as far as the action steps. Exposure, that's when we build the algorithm. All right. We need to type in to say your son is a 2029 wide receiver. If you go on Google and type in 2029 wide receiver, we need your child's name to pop up. All right. And anything that's going on, they need to pop up. We have national marketing, and I'll show you guys a little bit of websites that we create and articles that we write and features that we do nonstop. I'm doing features. If you go onto our Facebook, our Dream All American page, our Recruit Nation page, people submitted article requests, and we put them all together today. Started just getting them out there. Didn't cost anything. It's all about helping out the athletes and getting their name out there. So the marketing piece is huge. The algorithm, as I talk about, getting your name out there is big. Recruiting share, that's starting to get your information out there to the right schools. And we tell you certain things to do, and it's in the action steps, but then we start writing those personal recommendations. All right. I've been there before. A lot of coaches request our database sheets. They see the talent that we have in our games. They know they can find high level prospects with our company. So if I call, just say a Division II school, and I say, hey, coach, I have a defensive back that fits what you're looking for. Good size, good ability. I think it's someone you should look at. They trust in us. All right. They're going to open up that more than likely, more than if a parent wrote or a kid wrote. Every kid's going to write, hey, I'm a Division I talent. Definitely check me out. All right. That's great. You can say that. A parent can say it and they're going to say, okay, here's another parent thinking their kid is great. But when we say it as a third party service that's proven, that's when they have a chance to really evaluate the player because they believe in what we do. All right. And then scholarship, that's what's going to be all about. When we go through all these things, remember our program is from now until graduation. So if someone gets in as a seventh grader, all right, that's going to be 6 years of unlimited camps, unlimited games, recruiting service, all those things. That's how you're going to build. We're going to write recommendations. The action steps continue. All that's going to keep going. And every year, we're just going to stop. We're going to evaluate what we did for the first 12 months, have another detailed fact find strategy session, develop a new plan, and then we work the next year. So we're just going to keep that going throughout just to make sure that our plan stays solid. We're on the same page moving forward. I went from no one knowing me, I didn't know what to do. And then these are letters that I found them, in my closet. I was like, let me bring them out and kind of show where I was. So going into my senior year, I wasn't doing the right things. No one knew who I was. No one cared about me from being from Delaware. Once I really started doing the right things, then it started to change for me. And within a couple months doing this plan that I'm sharing with you guys, it took off. So you can see Rutgers, Auburn. But I'm just going to play this quick video so you can see the schools that were recruiting me and offered me through my journey. So it's going to go quick, but Georgia, you see Florida State, Hawaii, Vanderbilt, Iowa, Temple, North Carolina, Penn State, Syracuse. There's Miami, North Carolina State, Delaware, and many more. I couldn't fit them all on my table, but you can see proof is in the pudding. All right, I'm not going to lie to you guys and say, you know, I did something that I didn't do. I did that, and then I ultimately chose Villanova University. Someone had their hand up, I believe. Is someone asking a question, Shane? Can you see that?
Yes, it was Amy. She
Okay.
was just how you clarified that it's up. We provide these services throughout uh, graduation. So
Yes. So it's going to be until you graduate. If you get into the legacy program, we'll make sure that we're taking care of you throughout. All right. So I ended up going to Villanova University. I had a lot of major D1s, but during our detailed fact find, I wanted to have certain schools that I wanted to go to. So I chose Villanova for three reasons. Reason number one, it was close, 45 minutes from my house. My parents can come see me play all my home games and then go to a few away games. That's the main reason why I chose Villanova. Number two, FCS Division I, but it's not the big boys. I knew I could play almost immediately. So I redshirted my first year, just get a little bigger, faster, stronger. And then after that, I was playing right away, starting. So I wanted to get on the field as soon as possible. And then number three, education. All right, Villanova is now $90,000 a year to go to the school. It was a great education. The average class size was 15 kids. I couldn't be in a lecture hall because I would be in the back daydreaming. All right. So I had to go to a school where they're going to call on me nonstop. I had to read. I had to do the homework. I had to do everything because when I sit down there, it's only me and about eight other people. I can't hide. All right. I'm going to be called on. So I'm going to have to do my work. So I got a great degree. I played on the number one team in the nation on the FCS level. All right. And then my parents had a chance to see my journey. So that's why I chose Villanova. Everybody has their own reasons why they choose certain ones, but I had a lot of options. So it made it easy for me. All right. And that's what we want for you guys. If you guys wait and you don't know what to do, options are limited. And now you're scrambling at the end of your career.
Shan, we
All
got another
right.
question
Okay.
from Fredo. How can you follow up their progress in high school?
So how can we follow up on that?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're working with you guys throughout. So if we start working with a middle school player, they'll get all the camps, they'll get all the games and everything. We will continue to send action steps and check in monthly. And then at the end of the year, once we get to a full calendar year, we're going to sit down and have what I call that deep dive. So we're going to continue to track, see what's going on. We're going to talk about what correspondence you're starting to receive, if you're getting camp invites, any offers, anything going on, and where the interest is coming from. And then we just continue to develop the plan out. So we're going to track the player from when they get in. I don't care if you're sixth grade and you start working with us and you do all these things, or if you get in as a sophomore, start working with us, we're going to check in with you guys throughout. All right. So we are getting forms in from players who just signed in. We're reviewing that information. We will be following up with them shortly just to start talking about what we're talking about now. So people have been getting in the past like week, 2 weeks. So we're going to have those individual conversations shortly and develop those game plans for everybody. So we'll be with you meetings monthly and then our overall meeting every year, just so we stay on track and on the same page. All right. So tell me 7 minutes. All right, so we have four different things. As I mentioned, Dream Scouting Network, that was the main part of our company when I first started. I just wanted to help people through the journey. I just did recruiting and guidance through the process. Then it turned into, hey, can we do camps? Can we help instruct people and help with their evaluations? Then people said, hey, if I'm a top performer at a camp, is there something else? Can I go against other top performers? So we created the All-American games to make sure that people had a big stage to play on. Me being from Delaware, people saw my film and said, well, you're just doing good because you're going against someone from Delaware. All right. If I had a chance to go against someone from Texas, California, Georgia, Florida, then I definitely would have had a chance to break through and my film would have been undeniable. I only had my Delaware film. That's why we do the All-American Games. It's a chance for you to really stand out and showcase your abilities against high-level players all over. And then the marketing, promotion, and branding, that's National Radar, and I'll talk about that shortly. All right, so first thing, Dream Scouting Network. All right. Advocate and guidance. As I mentioned, the action steps. We're going to be with you throughout. My job is to guide you guys the right way, tell you guys what to do, give you the action steps that you need. And then you guys have to follow that. I'll also write those recommendations as we pick out schools, as we start this journey. So we're going to work together. I'm going to be that advocate for you, talking to schools. I'm going to give you guidance with the action steps. We just need you guys to do those things that is required, and there's quite a few things, but if you want to be recruited and you don't want to pay 20, 30, $40,000 a year as a walk-on and you want to have your best chance possible to earn multiple scholarships, then you have to do the things that we say and get the job done. And then we will hold up our end of the bargain as well. All right. So that's how Dream Scouting Network, that's our recruiting piece, the advocate guidance piece, and how that will work. All right. All American Games. Most of you guys have played in one or have heard about it. All right. So we have our middle school games at IMG. We also have some middle school games in professional stadiums. We will have a 7th, 8th grade game in AT&T this winter. And then we also have our high school games this winter as well. All right. So we have partnered with Dallas Cowboys, New Orleans Saints, the Chargers out in SoFi, and then also the Colts with Lucas Oil. So if you guys have been to some of our games, this is video here in Texas. We're in our dream uniforms. You can just see a little bit of this video right now. But yeah, it's in the stadium. It's one of the best stadiums out there. I'm not even a Cowboys fan. I actually like the rival team, the Eagles. But every time I walk into that stadium, it is the best of the best. I love being there. The kids come down the tunnel. They walk out the locker rooms and just seeing them on their phones and they're on TikTok or whatever they're doing. But it's a lifetime experience that they always remember. But all these kids on this field were top performers, high level players. You can show out against them and do well. That film is undeniable, and that's where college coaches start to take notice. So that's why we do our All-American games. The value, our high school games are all inclusive, are 1,200. So if you're 7th grade and you do 5 games, you're like $6,000. All right. If you go through our Exposure Accelerator, you're paying half of that, but you're getting unlimited camps until graduation. You're getting all the games and you're getting the recruiting service. So you can see the value there if you go through our Exposure Accelerator.
Shannon, we got two questions. You
Okay.
want to do them now, or you want to wait till the end?
You can go now while they're fresh.
I guess Rafredo, he had another question. I guess he was still trying to elaborate. How how you can track the guys meanwhile they play in high school. So, like, how do you follow them all the way through high school? Like as
Yeah,
far as
so
tracking them?
yeah, we'll be emailing, we'll be calling you guys, we'll have personal Zoom calls, we'll be following your social media to see what responses you get back from coaches. If we'll tell you guys if you get certain contacts from coaches, let us know so we can put that down in check marks and write notes. If you get offers, obviously we'll write that down so we'll know, and then you'll go from a 3-star to a 4-star or 5-star. We're gonna be working together. So you don't just sign in and then we don't talk to you or ever see you again. We need information from you and we're going to give you guys information. So your whole journey, we're going to set up phone calls. I'm going to be calling you. We're going to be on Zoom calls. We're going to be emailing each other. We're going to be following social media. We're going to be doing posts for you. We're going to give you article links. Hey, fill this out. We're going to do an article about your preseason, mid-year, how the season went, how training's going. We're going to do all of these things for you. So yeah, we're going to be tracking you the whole way. We'll know what's going on with you and you'll be in contact with us. So hopefully that answers your question.
And we also have a gang of dream football scouts all across the country that go to tons of games from little leagues, Pop Warner, all the way up to high school. So that's what we utilize as well. And the second question, Shannon, was from Amy. What is your percentage of college football acceptance? Then you have that broken down as far as like the percentage.
Yeah, I don't have that percentage broken down. I know when someone worked with me personally one on one, everybody has gone to the next level. And I know that might sound crazy, but it might be okay, I'm D3. It might not be full scholarship because their ceiling might have been just being a D3 athlete. We might try some D2 to see what it is, but if ability is not there to be a partial scholarship, now we're trying to find the best fit as a D3 so they can save the most money, grant and aid, get the best fit as far as coaching staffs, get the best degree. That's what we try to do. Now, if we can go Division 2 NAIA and get those partial scholarships, then that starts to save additional money, and you get half off with your tuition, or with all of your room and board, everything. The scholarships are half, so you can get those partial scholarships. And then if your ability is D1 and I work with you one on one, you're going to go D1. So we're going to be honest with you when we get your film and we start breaking down some things. We share film with college coaches that are in our network and say, what do you feel about this person? Would you recruit them? Where do you think they should start? So we get honest feedback. We're going to talk to you guys and see where you feel. And almost everybody we talk to says I'm SEC Division 1. So we have to go to some guys that are actually coaching at that level and get some outside opinions. But everybody I've worked with one on one has gotten to the next level, and I've been doing this since 2016. Many of the players that have played in our games or come to our camps or just did a piece of what we do have been successful. Now, if you sign up for a game, you've seen testimonials and commitments and scholarships. If you're in our group, you see all those posted here and there. So we have a lot of success. If your child has ability, size, grades, and everything else, we just got to make sure that everybody knows who they are. And if everybody knows who they are and they can play at a high level and their grades are good, they're going to be recruited. So our job is to amplify and accelerate everything to make sure their exposure is out there. So I'm sorry I can't give you exact numbers, but that's where we are. All right, so we went from having a camp coordinator who was an NAIA coach. Now we brought on Coach Watkins Butler. He's a Division 1 coach, was at New Hampshire, a FCS school in the Colonial Athletic, which is a great conference for the FCS level. But he got a promotion, as you can see on the left-hand side. He's now a coach at Syracuse. He's still our camp coordinator. Every camp that we have, we're going to have Division 1 schools if they can come during that time period, but he's going to line them up, and then other major schools will be there as well. That's one of the changes that we're having when we have our All-American event in Texas. He's going to be there lining them up. He'll be there evaluating talent as far as trying to find players for Syracuse. He's recruited a lot of players from our games already that are at New Hampshire. So he believes in what our product is and the players that we have. But he's going to be huge and instrumental as we move forward with our camp series, making sure that even higher level coaches are there for instruction and evaluation. So I just wanted to show you that as we move forward. And then marketing, promotion, and branding. As I mentioned, we're going to give you action steps. We're going to do all these things, but sometimes you just got to get your name out there a little bit more. All right. So one of the things that we do, all right, is websites. All right. So you can see this is a website that I created for one of the players who just joined in. As soon as you get on his website, his name's there. And then we have video playing. All right, so you can see the focus on the player right away. This is not just like a small NCSA profile that has basic information. This is your complete database that has everything that you need. Video playing as soon as you get on here. Now we get the algorithm going. So we have here in the news. All right, once you click on in the news, we're gonna put articles that are written about you outside of us on here. But then we're gonna write so many articles. We're always gonna do the right SEO. We're gonna talk about your grade, your name, your position, all that stuff. So anytime, as I mentioned, people start looking up a class of 2027 offensive lineman, bam, your name starts to pop up. All right, it's all about the algorithm to get your name out there. But you can see if I click this, might take a little bit to load, zoom, but you can see there's a scouting report, full. We get a coach to evaluate. They talk about some of their stuff that they review. But that's one of the articles. This player has an offer. So one of the things we're doing with him, if you have an offer from this school in this conference, all right, now next thing we're gonna do is target the other schools in the conference because they like to see what their rivals are doing. If their rivals offered somebody, they're probably gonna offer. So now you take it from one offer to 9 different offers. And then once we talk to other conferences and like, hey, we got a player that has 9 offers. You need to check them out. 9 offers. Now let me. So it's all process to get it to snowball. That's what we do. We make sure that the name's out there as much as possible. But that's the thing. In the news, we'll make sure that your articles, the algorithm is starting to build for you. We put a piece of the scouting report over the top of your picture just so people can see it. They don't have to click through and try to find it. They can see all the information here. He's a 4-star because he has an offer right now. Putting in the work, just him talking about why he should be recruited. It's great that they can hear from the player talking about themselves, a captain, powerlifting team. We have pictures of the player here that rotates through so they can get a better look at the player as well. And then we have huddle video playing a full highlight more than what's up top. This is showing everything, the whole video of his main highlight. And then we connect the huddle, we connect Instagram, we'll connect Twitter, we'll connect YouTube. As we build and build, and you guys have more platforms, we just continue to put this on here. So we have everything that's needed for the player. This has a lot of SEO. So, like I said, if you look at the class, you're looking at the grade, you're looking at this, you're looking at that, it starts to pop up. So we do everything that's necessary to make sure players are seen and evaluated and can get their name out there. All right, so that's one of the things that we do just to make sure that you're successful. That's more than, these other programs are just, like I said, a recruiting service, games, camps, websites, action steps, articles, features, everything we do. All right. We aren't just a one-stop shop with one thing with recruiting. All right, we're gonna do everything. All right. So if Isaiah mentors, hey, go to all these camps, be evaluated, get these coaches looking at you. Okay, that starts to build. Now he goes to the All-American game. He shows out. Those coaches love him. They see him at the combine, see him in the game. He does that over and over and over. It just continues to build and build and build. Success is there, man. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. Our goal is to amplify where you are and bridge the gap to those colleges and give you the best chance to get that scholarship. All right. If you can go through unlimited camps with the teaching and evaluation, you go to unlimited games, have a chance to compete against high level players all over the country. And then we give you that recruiting help with the action steps and we do the
I
marketing.
want to sit on your dick so bad and I can't.
That is huge for what we have going on. No problem, coach. All
Yeah,
right. So,
we had another question.
okay, go ahead.
Well, so basically, Amy said, so if I sign up my sixth grader, he will be with you for 6 years. That's a good deal. So
Yes,
yes,
yes. You'll be if you sign up. Now our program is 3,600. All right, now that is good amount of money. But as I mentioned, your sixth grader, just say if it's an eighth grader, all right, that's 5 games. Eighth grade, ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. If you play in 5 games, all right, that is 1,200 per year. All right, so you're like I mentioned, you're already close to 6,000, and that's just games. That's not even counting unlimited camps until you graduate. So you throw that in the mix. Now you're up to like $20,000 or whatever that is. Then the recruiting help, if you go to any other program and you do one-on-one mentoring and everything, you're paying like 3,000, 4,000 with some of these programs. Now you're at like $25,000 in value, and then the promotion. So our program is 3,600. If you got an email today, gave you guys a link that will take some off, all right, because we're trying to rectify a problem and make sure that we do right by everybody. So if you got that email, you put in that link instead of 3,600, it will drop it down a little bit. Um, but like I said, the value is there. I mean, we have partnerships with other NFL squads. So last year we were in the Superdome and we're in AT&T. So if you were a part of this program last year, you would have played in AT&T and in Dallas. So you would have got 2 games in one year. So it's not just one game. Sometimes we'll do 2 games. We have done SoFi and then flew from SoFi to Dallas and did another game a week later. So sometimes you get 2 games in one winter if you wanted to go that route. So we have a lot going on. If you want to go with us, we just want you guys to be taken care of and do things the right way. And like I said, I usually check off boxes. For one example, this one. I'll go meet with people. I'll talk about student athlete questionnaires. And I ask them, well, how many do you do? And they're like, well, what is that? Right then and there, I know their coach is not helping them. They're not guiding them the right way. Their guidance counselor, whoever, they're not working with the player. This is something that you should be doing with every college in the country. So this is University of Richmond, 1AA. If you type in their recruiting questionnaire page, you see they have all their sports and you click football. And this is some guidance I'm getting you right now. You know, you guys aren't even in the program. You sign in. It's going to take a minute because we're on Zoom. I'm going to sign in under my work email. I'm gonna hit continue. And now this is their football recruiting questionnaire. You can put all your information. You can put a picture, your name, home phone number, mobile phone number, your address, birth date, Facebook, Twitter, parent, guardian information, your coach's information, academic information, and more. You keep going. Athletic information, positions, recruiting videos, hit submit. Now you're in their database. All right, now these coaches at University of Richmond know who you are and have a chance to now click on you and see who just entered in our database. Then they get a recommendation from us as a third party that they trust and say, here's a kid that you need to be recruiting and check out. Now the advocate piece is coming in there. Then we give you action steps to follow up on what we just did and what you just did. We're going to tell you about 4 other things to do with this coach and this program to make sure it's undeniable that they have a chance to evaluate you. So giving you guys some free game right here. If you aren't doing these questionnaires, do them. But we are going to tell you guys there's more than just doing the questionnaire. You got to take it to about 6 other levels. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to teach you guys what to do with those questionnaires and more to make sure you're doing the right thing. So there's a lot of information that you need. There's a lot of things that you need to be doing. And that's our goal is to make sure that when it's all said and done, you know, you can rest easy and know you did everything in your power. And if Division 2, just say you get the Division 2, that's a partial scholarship. That's a blessing to continue to play, get to the next level, get your degree. And, you know, that might just be where your ability was. You know, if that's what it is, you're saving thousands and thousands of dollars and you got a lot of value of playing in nonstop games. You had a lot of fun. You got to the camps, you got development and everything else. So the value is there. You know, we are trying to get people started right away. So you have the links. If you don't have it, we will email it out for you guys and also the codes to use if you need it. But we're trying to get started with as many people as right now. So we have games this winter for 7th, 8th. You can take advantage of that if your child's going into those grades. If they're still 5th and 6th, this program, you can start with the camps and the recruiting stuff, and then you'll be able to go to the IMG game next summer. And then you'll just automatically get the roster link. You'll bypass payment moving forward, and you'll just be put in the game. All right, so that's what we're working on. And then just a little bit that I haven't shared with anybody. I'm not trying to put this out too much, but we have some huge news that may be coming out shortly. I want to say it, Shane, but I'm not going to say it because it's not official. But um, let's just say it's a good chance you'll be on TV with our games moving forward. Not to say what it is, who it is, and all that. But our games, we're talking to one of the majors about putting our game on national television moving forward. And it's going to be a big, big platform. So that's all I'm going to give you. Not going to tell you who it is and all that, but we got some things cooking. So if you want your child to be potentially on national television, still got to dot the I's, cross the T's, but you want them to be on national television every year throughout, that could be something that's coming as well. But even if we aren't on national television, playing in AT&T or playing in the Superdome or playing in SoFi or playing in ING or playing at Lucas Oil with our partners, and we'll probably bring more partners on and have different venues so we can keep rotating and get different experiences. But if you want that, that's all you have to go to. Go to dreamsportsgroup.net/plan, and you'll see the legacy option. The legacy option is what locks you in for everything until you graduate. But we also have a yearly option that doesn't have the games, but it has everything else, the features, the camps, and everything else. So the legacy is what really locks you in. The yearly plan will give you the unlimited everything, the action steps for a year, and everything else. So the two different options to go about it. I would definitely say the legacy because if you plan to go to college on a scholarship, you want to do things the right way, pay a little bit more, but we have Afterpay and Klarna as partners. So you can go that route. If you talk to me and say, hey, can I go with a little bit of invoicing or payment, we can go that route as well. I can figure some things out. But if we're giving you games and unlimited stuff early on, we have to have a bigger down deposit down payment early, and then we can start some monthlies after that. So we'll figure out the legacy if you need some additional flexibility. But Afterpay and Klarna, I took some cruises and I put it on Afterpay just like everybody else does. I enjoyed my time and then start paying back monthly. So it's the same thing with this thing. If you want to use Afterpay or Klarna, you qualify, you can start it, and then get in the program right away, and then you just pay back monthly with them. So there's a lot of flexibility there. So anything I missed, Shane, that I did not go over with this program?
I think he pretty much, spoke about it, all the great things that we're doing. And I'm like Shannon mentioned before, if your athlete is young, fifth, sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, man, they're still got a ton of years of ball before they graduate high school. So having the games, the opportunity to play in our Dream Football Classic Bowl games, and then everything that we offer is almost it's a no brainer. You get everything. I was talking to a parent um, earlier in the week, and they were talking about not to talk about other companies, but NCSA, and the main complaint is number one is a ton of money, and then number two, they felt like the parents felt like they were doing all the work and NCSA wasn't doing anything. So um, we do a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Shannon is very active, and we'll provide excellent value for you and your family. So that's all I gotta say.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. So once again, dreamsportsgroup.net. All right. And then /plan, PLAN. That's where you guys would go. Read a little bit more about what we do. We have all the check marks and just really talk about the process and how we will help you. So you guys can look that over. Sooner you get in, you get started. People that are in, we're, like I said, evaluating, looking over some of the forms that were submitted, and then we're going to get with you guys. So if you're in already, we'll be following up with you quickly. All right. We're working on your websites. If we haven't done it yet, we need some additional film or some other things just so we can get it looking like this and like Isaiah's and a few other people. So we might need a few more things, but we'll communicate that with you if we need some things. So if you're in the program, we'll follow up shortly. If you're not in it, get in it. All right, that's what I'm gonna say. Get in it right away because we're gonna do a lot of things to help you out in your journey. Let's get these articles written and more just to help you guys out. I've been posting them on my Facebook. I've been putting them on, um, the websites, just different things we have going on. The press releases are coming out. We do so much for the kids. We try to give a lot of value with everything that we do. So follow up with me if you have any questions. Shannon.riley@dreamsportsgroup.net. You can do Shane.riley@dreamsportsgroup.net. I know you guys probably are friends with me on Facebook. I have different Facebooks and I don't get on there all the time. I just get on there when I post something. So if you guys write me, I'm not on there like that. I know a lot of people are posting nonstop. I go on there if I'm making a post, then I get off of there. I'm not just sitting on Facebook scrolling all day long. So a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I wrote you. I'm like, well, I don't get on Facebook like that. So email me, text me, call me, or talk to Shane, Anthony, or somebody, and they'll get to me.
Yeah.
But if you're sending me messages on Facebook, I don't get on there like that. So I'm just let you guys know that. Now, if you see me post something, I'm on there, hit me right away and see if you can catch me. All right. But if you can't catch me then it might be a while till I even try to look at a message and go that route. All right. But definitely thank you guys for getting on. Like I said, a lot of value. Hopefully you guys move forward with this. The value is there and it's way more than any recruiting service will give you. I'll tell you that. You guys have seen everything that I showed. I'm sure you can agree. So the next step is just moving forward, joining in, so we can get this journey going. So I'll record this, get it out to everybody, especially who's here, and then we'll put it into the Facebook group. We'll put it on the Facebook pages. We'll email it out just so people have a chance to rewatch it and make sure they understand from A to Z. All right. So thanks again, everybody. And I'll follow up shortly. All right.
Yes. And there's
dreamsportsgroup.net/plan.
there's a couple comments real quick before you go. All right.
All right. Go ahead.
First of all, Mario, shout out to you. Noah's already locked in at 7th grade. He appreciates you all and loves all the event.
Okay.
And Amy, I will be emailing you back, Shannon. I think this is for us. So
Okay. Perfect. What's up, Coach? How you feeling, man? You good?
yeah, Junior, how you doing, man?
I'm better, brother. God is good. God is great all the time.
Okay.
Amen.
I appreciate you getting. I love your background. Love your shirt that you're wearing, and I know
Well, you know
Isaiah
it.
is part of what we got going on with the articles and the games, and so you locked in. So I appreciate you doing that, and we're going to make sure we get him on one of these big schools and signing day. So thank you for joining in and jumping on the call, because it's always great to have people that are in the program and can vouch for what we have going on. And I know he's going to multiple camps, multiple games, coming to Dallas, and we're just getting started, scratching the surface with him. So appreciate you getting on and just sharing a little bit.
Hey,
Yes.
we appreciate you. It was the best thing that ever happened. We love it. He loves being part of the brand. He's always rocking his stuff. You know, he tries to hide it because the kids there want to try to take his stuff when they're really rocking it. They keep asking him about the dream, and he just tells them like, "Look, man, just get on the net. We point out where they need to go, and he appreciates it. He's licking his fingers for Dallas.
Gotcha.
He's licking it. He's Jameis Winston with the Dallas.
Okay. So I can't wait to see him down there, man. He can definitely play. And we had a lot of guys that have come through our program at a high level, like Zachary Turner. He's one of the top 2026 wide receivers. He just committed to SMU. He played in our game. He was an MVP at wide receiver, the #1 running back in the nation. Look him up. Last name's Hitter, just signed with Michigan. He was one of our camp kids, went to our Virginia camp and was a top performer down there, and many others that have gone through. So we have high level players. And if you can say you're part of that boat, that's why college coaches are checking out our program, because they know these high level players that come through. So you guys can be next. And I'm not saying you guys can be, Power 5 and all that. Like I said, a blessing is getting to the next level and playing the game you love. And if you get that scholarship money, that's even better. Getting that degree, what it's all about, and then being a successful member in society. All right. Business owner, teacher, whatever you're using your degree for, that's what it's all about. But we're going to help you get that thing. I don't guarantee anything, but I'm kind of guaranteeing it without guaranteeing it. So thank you all once again. And like I said, just be on the lookout for more information, but email me if you have questions. Go to the site if you want to sign up, and let's get this thing going. All right. So everybody have a great night, and we'll follow up shortly.
Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you. See y'all soon.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Junior.
All right.
Thank
See
you,
you guys.
guys. Good night.